Quarterbacks hear footsteps in their nightmares, and it's probably TJ Watt coming for them. This is a man who has transcended his position as a linebacker. Now, he's simply a predator in cleats, hunting quarterbacks from the edge. With his flawless technique and record-breaking sack numbers, the sheer brutality of Watt's hits don't get talked about enough. So today, we're rewinding to the most savage, most violent, most game-changing sack moments of TJ Watt's career. It's crazy to think that 29 players were chosen ahead of TJ Watt during the 2017 draft night. But what's even crazier is the fact that he almost quit football to become a firefighter. Fortunately, he recovered from injury and got drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. But he was supposed to sit behind ferocious linebacker James Harrison. However, he was named as the starter over James Harrison, and on the very first chance he got, he showed everyone why that happened. It was December 10th, 2017, Steelers versus the Browns. Early in the first quarter, with the Browns driving, rookie quarterback DeShone Kizer dropped back to pass. Watt smelled blood and exploded off the edge with a lightning-quick first step that caught left tackle Joe Thomas off guard. Using a slick hand swipe to bat away Thomas's arm, TJ dipped his shoulder so he could slip past the block. Next thing we know, he was all over Kizer's legs. By the end of the game, Watt had racked up 2 sacks, 1 interception, and 7 tackles. But it wasn't just the numbers, it was how he did it. Fans and media personalities soon started talking about how he got that Watt gene. But it wasn't just fans and commentators talking. Coach Mike Tomlin was talking too.
His words of encouragement, he's a very good technical teacher with his peers. He helps young guys grow and develop. I watched it when Derek first got here, the way he took him under his wing. It's those things that don't get highlighted enough.
Who could believe that this was the same man that just a few years earlier was a tight end at Wisconsin, plagued by dislocated kneecaps and brutal surgeries? But something inside him just wouldn't let go. So during the injury, he just binged motivational videos, including documentaries on Derrick Rose and Adrian Peterson's comeback stories. These helped him to rebuild himself. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't until Wisconsin coach Paul Chryst told him to try switching to defense that everything changed.
The power, we talked to TJ Watt in our meeting the other day, he's only 245 pounds, but his speed and the power that he has in those hands, you saw the hands swipe away the hands of Bobby Hart, the right tackle.
He learned fast, and within a season, he went from backup to All-American with 11.5 sacks. By the time week 1 ended, it was clear TJ Watt wasn't here to fill his brother's shoes. He was here to break quarterbacks and build his own legacy. In 2021, he established that legacy by recording 22.5 sacks and joining Michael Strahan as the players with the highest sacks in a season in NFL history. And of course, he did that in style, but we'll get to that later in the video. But hey, we're talking about TJ Watt here, so you gotta know, those sacks aren't pretty. Let's take a look at some of the most brutal ones. With TJ Watt, every sack is calculated violence. From snap to whistle, he moves like a heat-seeking missile with one goal in mind: destruction. In 2019 against the Dolphins in Week 8, TJ showed exactly how his mind works. The Dolphins were trailing 14-10 in the third quarter, pushing to stay competitive. Then Ryan Fitzpatrick tried to orchestrate a drive to exploit Pittsburgh's secondary. On a critical 2nd and 8 from the Dolphins' 45-yard line, Fitzpatrick dropped back, eyeing a quick pass to keep the chains moving. But unfortunately for him, the Steelers' defense had Watt just across from him, facing off against rookie tackle Isaiah Prince. Next thing we know, this happened. Football analysts call it textbook edge rushing, but it wasn't textbook. It was violent poetry. Another brutal hit happened to Lamar Jackson in 2020 during their AFC North battle. Watt's 9-yard takedown forced a 3rd and 19, leading to a Ravens punt. Pittsburgh capitalized on it, grinding out a 19-14 victory to keep their undefeated 11-0 record intact that year. After being denied the award for Defensive Player of the Year in 2020, TJ came into the 21 season with a vengeance. So when they matched up against the Browns with playoff hopes on the line, TJ unleashed hell. 4 sacks, all surgical, and a key block. It was performances like this that made TJ so feared in the NFL. Then in 2024, while leading the Steelers in all-time sacks with 99.5, Watt stepped up to superstar quarterback Dak Prescott as the Steelers faced off against Dallas. Being 1/2 sack away from the elite 100-sack club, Watt saw his opportunity when Prescott dropped back on a 2nd and 10 and grabbed it with both hands. The deed was done. TJ Watt became the second fastest player to record 100 sacks in NFL history after Reggie White. These moments aren't just about numbers, they're about impact, because TJ is the kind of player that makes even elite offenses second-guess their protection plans. But wait, is anyone even safe from TJ's savage celebrations and trash talks? TJ Watt doesn't just drop quarterbacks. He makes sure everyone knows exactly who did it. His sack celebrations are a mix of brute force and calculated swagger. You see, after burying a quarterback, Watt doesn't waste a second. He springs to his feet and does the leg out celly that has become so much a part of it. And sometimes, if he's in the mood, he might even blow a kiss to his opponents like he did here. But where did this leg out celly come from? The celebration came from the time when the Watt household loved playing ice hockey. Growing up in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, Watt played ice hockey until age 8, a sport that demanded balance and explosive footwork. That rink-honed agility stuck with him, shaping his fluid movement on the football field. So when he transitioned to football full-time, he carried that swagger with him. But it's not just the celebrations that are brutal with TJ, it can also be the trash talks. Who can forget how he destroyed Browns' Baker May during Monday Night Football on January 3rd, 2022? After pulling off a block, TJ can be seen here telling Baker, "You have to throw it higher." Then in 2024, Giants tackle Jermaine Illuminor said pre-game he was going to leave Watt on an island. TJ responded the only way he knows how, with a sack followed by a cold stare that needed no words. And here's what he had to say post-game.
Does that stuff through the media motivate you and everyone that comes up?
I'm pretty motivated. I don't need extra stuff.
Flexes, kicks, stares, and smirks. TJ Watt isn't just a sack artist. He's a performer. So let me tell you about that one performance where he saved the Steelers' season. It was on January 9th, 2022, and the Steelers needed a win against the Ravens in Week 18 to make the playoffs. Their odds of making it, according to 538, was just 6%. And this was Ben Roethlisberger's final season. They needed to make the most out of it, but the game remained tied late in the fourth quarter. One mistake, and it was over. One big play, and Pittsburgh would live to fight another day. The Ravens had the ball, and Tyler Huntley dropped back looking for a miracle. But Watt had other plans. He exploded off the edge, swatted away the blocker with a violent hand swipe, and in one clean motion, he was all over Huntley. This was sack number 22.5 of the season, tying Michael Strahan's single-season NFL record. That hit wasn't just about stats. It flipped the momentum, forced a Ravens punt, and set up Pittsburgh's eventual overtime win. The Steelers were going to the playoffs, and they had their game record to thank. NFL broadcaster Chris Collinsworth called it the definition of clutch. Ravens coach John Harbaugh later admitted, "Watt broke our back." But for TJ, it was a full circle moment. From dislocated knees and near retirement to carrying a franchise on his back, this was more than a sack. It was a statement that the NFL is still getting used to. And that statement is, it's not only the quarterbacks that can change or save a game, a defender can too. TJ Watt isn't just a sack artist. He's a nightmare in shoulder pads who can get a sack even without a helmet. From his explosive rookie debut to the record-tying takedown that saved a season, Watt has turned quarterback pressure into an art form. With 108 sacks and counting, it looks like Watt is only gonna get better. And if you're a quarterback staring down number 90, chances are you're already too late. Now it's time to hear from you, the viewers. What's your favorite TJ Watt sack? We look forward to reading your comments. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Gridiron content if you enjoyed this.